Hello, and welcome to Civ's Baked Goods. Today we're going to be doing our two gluten-free items, the peanut butter cookies and the coconut macaroons, and we're also going to add banana cages to our cages recipes. I'm going to try with peanut butter and chocolate, just peanut butter, and a hazelnut with chocolate chips as well, to try and get a good balance between the bananas. We'll see which of those three works out the best. So let's get into it. So we're going to start with the coconut macaroons. They're very easy, only 3 ingredients: egg whites, sugar, and coconut. I'm going to keep the yolks for egg wash and for the peanut butter cookies so that there's no waste. So I'm going to keep the yolks on the side here. So we're just going to whip this up. When it gets to soft peaks, add our sugar in. Then once it's done getting stiff peaks, we're going to mix it into our coconut, scoop it out. It should be about 12 and we'll be good. I got 4 yolks and a bit of whites, which will be perfect for the peanut butter cookies, and there'll be some leftovers for the egg wash for the cages. We're just going to turn it on to about this speed till it's soft peaks. Then we'll add in our sugar and let it go till hard peaks. Okay, so now that it's at soft peaks, we're going to slowly add in our sugar as it's going. We can add a little bit in now before we start it up again. But let's start it up again and continue pouring it in as it goes. Stiff peaks means when you hold it up, it doesn't move, just like that. Now be careful, you just whipped all that air in, so you don't want to be banging all that air out. Simply just scoop all this into your coconut and just fold it in. Folding it in causes the bubbles to stay as much as possible without going flat. If you just start going crazy, you're gonna get rid of all those air bubbles that you whipped into your eggs, causing it to not be as nice. So just go slow. And once it's mixed in, then you can just scoop it super easily and you'll be done. This is a weird temperature you bake at, 385. You don't really bake too many things at that stage, so keep that in mind when you're deciding how to do your day. You don't want to be constantly switching the temperatures of your oven if you don't have to. Perfect, so that's all mixed together. Now all that's left to do is scoop. Scoop. I believe it's just full to get the right amount. These don't get bigger in the oven, or at least they shouldn't. If they do get bigger in the oven, it means you put too much eggs in there. If you put too much eggs in there, it will spread out, but you can still fix it if it does spread out. So don't panic if it does spread out. Now with the coconut macaroons in the oven, we'll start onto our peanut butter cookies. Put our sugar and peanut butter together. We can also add our salt at this time, it's just a pinch. I'm making 6 cookies today, not my full recipe of 24, just because I'm trying to test some things and to get some nice pictures and for a little bit of practice. Not to mention I can't eat 24 cookies, especially at the size that these ones are. So let's add in our eggs. Remember, this is the yolks and that tiny bit of whites from the coconut macaroons. I want to get the exact amount, which is 42 for 6 cookies. And then I have this extra for egg wash for the banana cages. Once this is all mixed in, I'll wrap this up, put it in the fridge, start rolling out my puff pastry and preparing the banana cages. Since the peanut butter cookies are going to take a while in the fridge, I will quickly finish the banana cages, put them in the oven next, then after that I can then put in the peanut butter cookies. Just a side note, remember if you're putting any dough in the fridge because it needs to rest for a bit or to cool down, in this case, always make it into a disc. That gets you started for if you're doing a pie dough, it gets you started to rolling it out. And for a dough like this, it cools it down a lot quicker. Now we're just going to roll out our puff dough. We are only going to make 3 cages today because again, I have to eat this and I can't be eating 12 cages in one day. We're gonna try a peanut butter one, a peanut butter with chocolate chips, and a hazelnut spread with chocolate chips, and see which of those 3 works out the best. If they're all really good, then maybe I just continue with all 3 of them. But to make it simpler on the staff, you wanna make sure that you get the right ones first. And once you know you have the staff and you can easily handle it, then add all the other ones. We're gonna change up the design for this puff dough. Instead of making it into 6 pieces and cutting it and having a top and bottom, we're gonna have a long rectangle and then cover it in a different way, which you'll see in a second. So with a piece like this, we're just going to cut it into 3s. With this design, you want to make sure that these outer pieces that have the not perfect square be slightly bigger, so it's easier for them to get the right shape. We're going to put this in the fridge, cut out our other stuff, like our bananas, and we'll come back then. Okay, now onto the cages. This is how they turned out. Looking good. Perfect. Now I'm only weighing out the peanut butter once so I can get a good measurement of what I'm gonna need for 12. You don't need to weigh out your peanut butter or your hazelnut spread except for to put into your bowl. You should be able to see the difference between putting a huge amount on, say, one of your cages versus a different one. So as long as you have the original amount that you're going to need for all 12, you should be able to make sure that you got the right amount for the whole recipe. So about 14 grams to 15 grams. I'm gonna change it to 15 grams and then just times that by 12. That's how much you'll need for your whole thing. Now I'm gonna do the same thing, but with the chocolate chips. I'm just gonna do enough chocolate chips for one. Now for some reason, it just didn't count. So I'll have to try again on the next one. To finish this off, we're gonna put our bananas on. Make sure that if you have small ones with big ones, so that it evens itself out. Just like so. Put your bananas on like that. And the way we're gonna cover this one is by cutting diagonally like this. You're actually going to cover one like that to cover the front. Then the second one from the other side, you're going to go over and just continue. And then finally, the last little bit to cover the ends. That's how we're going to cover these. So that's the chocolate and hazelnut one. And let's move on to the next two. Now we'll do the peanut butter and chocolate chips for this one. I'm gonna see if I can get the right amount of weight for the chocolate chips. This time instead I'm going to just go directly onto the scale. So we'll go with 8. I keep spilling, but we're gonna go with 8 grams and put that into our recipe. And this is the third one, which will just be peanut butter. There we are. Now again, cut your diagonal pieces. I am also thinking about maybe adding a chocolate drizzle on the end of any one of these. However, if I find that it's already chocolatey enough with the chocolate chip on the inside, I will not be doing that. But we'll see after I fully taste test these cages. And no waste. There'll probably be a tiny bit of egg wash at the end. Sorry about that. I by accident cut you off. So this is only egg yolks, which will make the shine even better. So I might change to only egg yolks in the end. And this is done. So let's put it in the oven and see how this turns out. This is how they turned out. Looking good. I did not close this one fully, so that's a bit of an issue. It is going to leak out. That's normal because there is going to be a lot of juices in the banana. You can't avoid that obviously, and it's open. So that's perfectly fine. The only thing that you need to worry about is if peanut butter or the chocolate comes out. And this isn't peanut butter chocolate, so we're again good to go. We definitely could fit 6 per tray, so that's good. Just gonna take these off to cool, and we're gonna finish up on our peanut butter cookies. So let's finish up for today. This has definitely had plenty of time to cool down, especially since I waited all that time with everything else. I clearly didn't scoop enough for the first few, which is way better to do than to over scoop the first two, because it's easier to fix the first two by just adding a tiny bit versus trying to make a full new one. After that, just use our fork, put it in the oven. 350, 16 minutes. I'm gonna get some chocolate going on the side so I can drizzle chocolate on the end, and we'll come back then. Peanut butter cookies are done. They've cooled up. Now we just gotta put some chocolate on. That will be perfect for pictures. I'll be able to take pictures with chocolate and with plain, which I will have at the bakery, so that's perfect. Here's how the chocolate peanut butter cookies turn out. They're looking very good. Perfect for the gluten-free options. Same with the coconut macaroons. They're looking also amazing. And finally, the best one yet, the banana cages. The best cages so far. We'll see if any of the other cages can beat it in the end. If you've liked this video, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I even have my own website. Thank you, and have a nice day.